beautiful property here. I can't believe this thing's been giving you a headache. It hasn't been easy to sell.
It's been a pain. It was actually a house that we rented out, and then the tenants moved out. And
Oh,
so
really?
we were kind of in that situation where, like, oh my God, we need to list the house because we had both kind of moved on.
What'd you guys have it rented out for?
So we were renting it just to kind of, get what we were paying. So it's $3,000.
And I understand you've got like a 4.5 or something on this.
It is actually 4.25 for the interest rate.
And you've had it listed on market with a realtor. And has that just not gone how you thought it would go?
You know what it is? I think it's with the realtor fees and whatnot. It just eats us up, and we're just not in a good situation where we're going to get a ton of money. Since the payoff I think is like $428. Truly, we're at a point where we just want to get rid of it. We know obviously we're not going to make money from it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we might be able to find somebody who'd like to move into this property. That's kind of what we do. We typically see if there's somebody who can't qualify for a 7% interest rate, but perhaps could qualify for a 4% interest rate that's no longer available. My acquisitions manager, who I think you were communicating with, let me know that there were some back payments on the property. Is that the case?
Pretty much since October, we cannot make the payments for where we live, and then on top of that mortgage. So since October, pretty much we haven't been able to make the payment for the house.
I think what makes these largely appealing to people is that they don't have to spend an exorbitant amount of money, and they can just sort of step into your shoes and start eating that payment. And I think somebody would want to do that, but the $15,000 is definitely scary. Is there a way to mitigate that? Like sometimes I'll talk to a seller and say, hey, I really want to make this happen, but it might be kind of hard for somebody to come up with all that money. Are you willing to bring any amount of those back payments to the table? If not, I'm not saying the entire thing, but is there anything that you guys can put together to kind of catch these up a little bit, or is this sort of the situation you're in?
To be honest, we're pretty tight, but if we were to it wouldn't be all of it, but if we can bring maybe 8,000.
That would push the needle a lot. That would move it a lot, because essentially the conversation that I have with somebody after this is, hey, we've got this great 4% interest rate. We've got a $3,000 monthly payment here. Is this something you'd be interested in? And then their first question is, well, how much do I need to bring to the closing table? And we're hoping to mitigate that as much as possible. So yeah, if you brought 8 or 10 to the closing table, the back payments would only be 5, and that would strongly increase the chances of us finding somebody who would be willing to step into these payments here.